Hey everybody, take two. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler, he's Nick Padone, Jack O'Rourke, and Rob Watson. Shout out to Project Pat, our producer. We are not at our usual studios in Burke Lakefront Airport, as you can see, but we are at the Colleague Companies Championship at the beautiful Firestone Country Club here in Akron. We're in the Infinity Zone. You can see right there the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage. It's been a party yesterday. It's going to be a party today again and tonight. Last night, I believe, Darius Rucker, Frankie Ballard, so the party continues. The weather is much more beautiful today, and it looks like it's going to stay that way, guys. The golf was amazing yesterday. We get it again today and obviously through Sunday to see who wins this senior leg here at Firestone. I'm so excited to be here. Shout out to Colleague Companies. You can go get your tickets. There's still plenty of party to go to. ColleagueGolf.com. Kids under 18 get in free. Perfect opportunity to skip work early, get out here in the sun with your family, enjoy some golf. And even if you don't love golf, guys, there's so much to do. Food stands, food trucks, all of that good stuff. Golf simulators, cigar lounge. There's so much to do here. The Colleague Companies Championship does another amazing job this year, and we're just happy to be back, guys.
Yeah, and how cool is it to be at a major, too, on the senior tour, which I actually didn't know until yesterday, but pretty cool it's a major, and they also have the U.S. Senior Open coming up next week, so kind of a big stretch for these guys, and yeah, got the chance to walk around yesterday, saw John Daly play a bit, Rocco Mediate, just like a lot of really cool names from like growing up watching golf, so pretty cool.
Yeah, Ernie Els was the champion here last year. Guys, this is no chump change. I believe the purse, $3.5 million, the winner takes home $500,000 if I'm not mistaken. So there is a lot at stake for these guys. The seniors, they don't mess around. These are still some of the best golfers on planet Earth, and it's such just an amazing opportunity to watch them play throughout today. But guys, we got a Big Factor show here today to kick off our show agenda. Coming up at 1 o'clock, the Big Play Cleveland show. Also at 3 o'clock, Honor the Land with Chef Zay and Max Loeb. But again, thank you to Colleague Companies Championship for having us here. It's beautiful. Again, colleaguegolf.com. Get your tickets. Kids under 18 get in for free. Also, another fun event we're going to be a part of, guys, the Geauga County Fair coming up sooner than later. Nick, we're going to be there doing a live show at the Big Factor.
We're going to be there. That's obviously a little bit away, but you got to get your tickets for the Geauga County Fair right now because there's a flash sale going on. This is the only flash sale that they're doing. They used to do it 4th of July weekend, not happening this year. Geauga County Fair, get your tickets today. $5 ticket.
That's it.
In celebration of the longest days of the year. Summer solstice is here. The Geauga County Fair is offering their biggest discount of the summer. From June 20th through June 23rd at 11:55 p.m., fairgoers can purchase admission for just $5. That's 50% off the $10 normal price. That's the only flash sale that's going to happen. So if you want to get to the Geauga County Fair, if you want to eat all that delicious food with us this summer, you got to get it during the flash sale. It's Ohio's oldest and continuous county fair. The 203rd edition promises an unforgettable experience. Over 5,000 animals, including these three jokers on set with me. Thrilling rides and games, daily free shows, including Sea Lion Splash, the Pirates of the Colombian Caribbean, aerial thrill show, an interactive magic show, high energy sheriff stretch comedy show. You guys got to get out there. There's free youth archery, fishing, an all-new butterfly encounter. Wow. The Geauga County Fair is literally the biggest thing that's going to go down this summer. New for 2025, the fair will host a free county music concert on Friday night in the small grandstand featuring Julia Neville. Again, these tickets right now, 50% off, $5 to get in on all of this action. Thursday and Saturday, there's Demolition Derby. Sunday, there's a truck pull, a tractor pull. Monday, Broken Horn Rodeo. JeaugaFair.com, 50% off. There's a chance for you and your family to go on right now. Lock these tickets in for half the price. Go get them. JeaugaCountyFair.com.
Quick question for you guys while we're on the topic. Favorite fair food?
Favorite fair food?
Yeah.
You got to go elephant ear.
Corn dog.
Interesting.
Low-key popcorn.
Why is that interesting?
What?
Popcorn.
I'm a normal guy, man.
I'm not calling popcorn's not a fair.
No, corn
food,
dogs. I just think the general. I wasn't expecting you to go off to the corn dog to the food side, but elephant ears has to be the answer.
$5. That can't even get you a foot long these days at Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$5 going to Geauga County Fair.
I don't know if we have time for that today, but we do need to get to that at some point in time as well.
Time. Jack claims that Subway's lost its.
I'm really upset with the folks at Subway.
Yeah.
All right. Colleague Companies Championship again. We're here at Firestone. Jack, do you have the leaderboard pulled up for us?
Yes, I do. Believe it or not.
So right now, what? 4 under?
Yeah, 3 under. So we got a couple guys tied up here up top. Sven Kjeldsen coming in up top alongside Gonzalez, sitting at that 3 under spot. Akir Rich Goosen and Stuart Sink coming in 2 under, just 1 spot off the leaderboard. So a lot of guys up high. Any other notable names we got here in the top 10, 15 or so?
Where's John Daly at?
John Daly. Quigley, even. So our guy is an 18th, Joey Pfaff over there. John Daly. I'm getting some finger work in here, guys. Getting the fingers wet here.
51?
Oh, he's even. He's +6. He is +6.
That's
Okay.
far from even.
Tied for 64th. So he is in the March Madness tournament as of right now.
All right, he's still dancing. We'll see if that continues
Cinderella
after
could be
today.
here.
I'm not
Could be
sure
your
what
year.
the cut is. We shall see. We'll check the leaderboard again.
I don't
at
think they
the
cut
end
in
of
the senior tour.
Fair enough. That's soft. All right, guys. NBA Finals Game 6 last night. The Oklahoma City Thunder get defeated by the Indiana Pacers. They force a Game 7. Pascal Siakam sacrificing something in the locker room, seeing his eyes roll in the back of his head. That was crazy. We'll talk about that, but let's talk about the actual play on the court. TJ McConnell, another hero in this game. You go back to Game 5, the third quarter. TJ McConnell was the only reason the Pacers were still alive in that one. I know the Thunder won, but he's having a great series. And then it's guys like Pascal. Tyrese Halliburton playing through the calf strain. He was crucial in that win. They force a Game 7. It goes back to OKC. Guys, can the Pacers pull off another upset win and get their first franchise NBA Finals trophy?
They for sure can. And I was talking to you guys a little bit before the show about this, but it's something about when you let that one little roach that never dies stay alive, you let him go. Next thing you know, he comes back and there's 30 of them. And that's what the Thunder did last night. Absolutely did not come out ready to play whatsoever. Just get jumped on from the onset by the Pacers. Couldn't match the energy, turning the ball over, couldn't hit a shot. And what you do is you allow some of those guys like Andrew Nembhard, who had been a ghost on offense for 3 games, to start making a couple shots. You're letting role players like Ben Shepherd get some shots to go through. And that's not spelling good things for the Thunder at all. And I mean, Game 7, absolutely anything could happen. Like you said earlier, Nick, you throw everything out the window. And I think the team that's been the most clutch this whole playoffs is the Pacers. So in a high-pressure situation, I'm going with Indiana.
Yeah, Rob, it really reminded me of the 2016 NBA Finals. And obviously this is the first NBA Finals that will have 7 games since 2016. But the 2016 Cavs had it their internal mission. They weren't going to lose Game 6 on their home floor. They weren't going to have that happen again after what happened in 2015, after the Golden State Warriors had gotten the best of them during the regular season that year as well. They weren't letting the Warriors celebrate on their floor. They weren't having that smell of champagne in the locker room at Quicken Loans Arena at that time happen again. That's what it reminded me of. Indiana wasn't going out like that, and you stretch it to 7 games. What's weird about the NBA and Game 7 in the NBA is you could rip up and throw away what you know about these teams because none of it matters. You could see the weirdest, most wonkiest thing happen now that this is extended to 7, and the Indiana Pacers surely have life, and they'll have a puncher's chance come Sunday in Game 7, albeit in in Oklahoma City.
Can I give you guys my one worry for Indy right now, though? I'm a little worried. Hallie coming out, had the what the Hallie going on, had a couple big shots early. Could that have just been the William Wallace Braveheart? Was this the last little, remember the Alamo? They might have just come up and just gotten all the momentum up, get the building worked up. You got to come out and home and get that win. That's the easy one. Going back to OKC for Game 7 was always going to be the more difficult one. I don't know. Like you said, Rob, it's not that they didn't get up for Game 6 of the NBA Finals, but they knew they had 2 chances. They didn't know if Hallie was going to play or be healthy. Maybe they thought they were going to come in and just put it out right away. They didn't. But I don't know, man. It's going to be tough to go back and do it again in OKC in Game 7, guys.
This has been one of the most interesting, most fun watch finals we've had in a long time.
It has been.
And I know people went and maybe the Knicks. You didn't get a Lakers. You didn't get a Golden State. You didn't get one of these big market teams.
This has been
it was
real
Oklahoma
ball,
City
though.
and the Indiana Pacers, a team that is on the verge of what people are calling maybe a startup dynasty. Well, the Pacers, they have other plans. They've been the hero throughout the playoffs, the most clutch team throughout the playoffs, the best shooting team through the playoffs. And they're taking Oklahoma City, the best record throughout the whole entire season, the MVP. You mentioned Jalen Williams, hell of a player himself, one of the deepest benches, but the Pacers forcing a Game 7 with a chance to win it. I think this has been as good as Adam Silver can possibly imagine.
Something concerns me that Oklahoma City might just be one of these sports markets that are destined for letdown. You think about it, they've got no baseball, they've got no football other than like the Sooners.
They ain't got hockey.
They love their Thunder. They do, and they've been tortured. They had 3 MVPs on that roster 10 years ago. We know they weren't able to get over the hump. They got LeBron, and LeBron was able to celebrate his first NBA championship. And now it finally feels like you're so close and you're at the precipice of winning that first NBA title, and those fans love their basketball. They want to see it so bad. And man, now does it feel like it's just one game away from slipping all away yet again? And Ryan, you mentioned it. While they have all these draft picks and Sam Presti's done a good job, just hoarding assets, there's no guarantee in sports. There's no such thing as house money. Like when the Browns were in the playoffs with Joe Flacco and people were having that conversation, I'm like, no, there's no such thing as house money. Even though it looked to be the start of something new, there's no guarantee that the Thunder will be back. The Thunder are the best use case because they had this happen to them over 10 years ago. So they got to try to take care of business in Game 7 on their home floor because there's no guarantee that they'll ever be back.
Let me talk about legacy for a minute and a Game 7 winner-take-all. You have the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton, who has been the most clutch player up until the NBA Finals, and there's been games, whether it's due to injury, I'm assuming it is, that he's kind of disappeared a little bit. Now he's an opportunity to go lead the Pacers in a Game 7 on the road, flip it over for Oklahoma City. You have Shai Gilgeous, a young MVP looking for his first ring to deliver the first ring for Oklahoma City, as we talked about. What will this game mean? And when it wraps up this series heading into next season, what will this have an impact on these players' legacies?
This game and this series is going to put a label on players that they're not going to be able to shake until they get back in this situation again. So if you're Shai and you lose and you maybe don't even show up, they're going to be talking about how you choked. Regardless if you averaged 33 the whole series, you couldn't get it done in the last 2 games and you went down on your home court. As far as the Pacers and for Hallie, he'll be a legend in the game forever. Everyone will remember this run for a long time. Whether he doesn't do anything for the rest of his career, everyone will think back to this year. The same way Dirk was an amazing player. Not saying he didn't do anything for the rest of his career. Everyone talks about 2011 and that run, though. So that's the opportunity Hallie has. But Shai could be the next guy. He could start to take that step to be the face of the league, whether he foul baits or you think his game is boring or not. He's the MVP. Western Conference Finals MVP, would be the Finals MVP, and would be an NBA champion on the best team in the conference, in the NBA, and that would be the start of his dynasty and his legacy if he could get it done today.
And speaking of legacies, how about Rick Carlisle? That's a guy that's never really mentioned in that top echelon of NBA head coaches. You win another ring with another organization, and you do it in this fashion. I mean, nobody nationally picked the Indiana Pacers coming into this series. There was a lot of Oklahoma City love. And the one thing that was out there about the Pacers is that they're this punchy team that could potentially break through and, surprise some people, but nobody really anticipated that happening. So if you're Rick Carlisle, you mentioned Dirk Nowitzki there, you have an opportunity to take down the best player of all time in LeBron James with the Dallas Mavericks, where you were an underdog in that series, and then do the same thing over a decade later with the Indiana Pacers. We're talking about Rick Carlisle as a Hall of Fame coach and one of the greatest coaches not only in the NBA right now, but of all time, having gotten it done with 2 different organizations.
I mean, he would literally, I forget which finals was in the early 2000s, but post 2005, he would have taken the 2 biggest underdogs entering the finals and won the finals with both of them. That's just ridiculous.
If you're thinking, I think the other underdog would be like the Pistons. Kind of are like this team. They have more all-stars, but there were no stars. So that was Larry Brown. But yeah, I mean, Rick Carlisle is just the guy that he's the Cinderella run. You don't see that
Cinderella
a lot in the
man,
NBA,
baby.
but it might be him. He might be that guy.
All right,
And Hallie could be like Cardiac Kemba.
We got to take a break, but before we do, the smart money is going to be on Oklahoma City to win Game 7 on their home floor. They don't lose 2 games in a row. But, Rob, you're going Pacers in a Game 7 winner-take-all. Anything can happen.
I think I'm taking the Pacers. It's in a coin flip, throw it out the window. It's going to be sweaty. You're going to see – I could see a super low-scoring game. It's going to – everything you've learned, forget about it. The last game of the year, those palms are sweaty. Rims are going to be shrinking. People are going to be fouling. Heads are going to be lost. It's going to be a lot going on in there. Emotions will be running the highest they will ever be. But I like Indiana in that situation because they prove time and time again they get it done in that chaos.
Well, we shall see. We're going to take a break. When we get back, Shedeur Sanders going 101, pulled over for a speeding ticket. What do we make of it? Is it a big deal or not? I'll ask these guys when we get back on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. Shout out Project Pat, our producer. Again, we're here at the College Companies Championship in Akron at the Firestone Country Club. The weather is cooperating today. It's beautiful out. They're getting ready to tee off, I believe, at 11 today, Jack, is when they begin to tee off day 2 of the senior leg here at Firestone.
They're ripping it.
And the weather is beautiful. We're here located in the Colleague Infinity Zone. Right behind us, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage where it's been rocking all night yesterday. Darius Rucker, Frankie Ballard, they got more concerts today and throughout this weekend. There's still plenty of time, plenty of fun for you guys to come down to Firestone. Get your tickets today, colleaguegolf.com. The perfect opportunity to skip out of work a little bit early on a Friday. You can bring your kids, under 18, they get in for free. If you're a golf junkie, then this is the place to be. And even if you're not, it's still the place to be. They got golf simulators, food trucks, coffee, everything you needed to hear. I see pizza, burgers, corn dogs, coffee, barbecue,
wings,
Coffee is their time, too.
They have everything
Ice
you could
cream
imagine.
over there.
It's an absolute blast, and they're getting ready to tee off here at 11, guys. Shout out real quick to Fairway Ford before we jump into this, kind of the perfect segment for talking about Shador Sanders speeding anyway, but don't speed. But you can go down to Canfield, Ohio. Fairway Ford is the largest inventory of new Ford trucks and Super Duty trucks, and they won't be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. That's pre-tariff pricing on all Fords. They have over 500 vehicles on their lot in Canfield, Ohio right now. So don't let that short drive prevent you from saving literally thousands of dollars on your new ride. Guys, family service, it's the way you want it. They don't pressure you into buying anything. They want to talk to you, understand what you want, and they know how to get it done. Guys, Fairway Ford, go to Canfield, fairwayfordohio.com, or scan that QR code. I don't know if it's on the screen, Pat, but if it is, scan that QR code, go get their website, or visit fairwayfordohio.com. You won't be disappointed that you did. Well, Shador Sanders pulled over for driving 101 miles an hour. Turns out this wasn't his first speeding ticket just recently. He got another one earlier. I believe they're both within, what, a month span?
Yeah.
You'll learn.
Within a couple weeks, to be honest.
We'll start with this. Going 101 miles, not recommended. It's very dangerous. Now, speeding is something we've all done before. I understand that. You never want to see a franchise quarterback potentially run into the law. It could have been a lot worse. But at the end of the day, all that matters is everyone was safe. Nobody got hurt. Does this have any impact on how the Browns should view this quarterback race?
I'll be honest, I'm surprised that there were some people out there that said that this is going to impact things because the Browns are currently in evaluation mode of can Shador Sanders be the franchise quarterback on the field and off of it. And if you're having 2 run-ins with the law, you know, in your first month being in Cleveland, that means some of your off-the-field stuff might be struggling. But let's be honest, this isn't a guy that's, you know, out, you know, getting, you know, DUIs. This is a speeding ticket. And I want to put out there as well, as somebody that's, you know, been to the state of Texas before, they literally have highways where the speed limit is 85 miles an hour. And I'm sure at night when there aren't people driving, you could go 100 and nobody bats an eye. Shador grew up in Texas. I maybe think that there's a little bit of a misunderstanding as to what happened here because in different parts of the country, you literally can drive that fast and nobody cares as long as it is just a fast rate of speed and there's nothing else nefarious going on. So I don't think that this should have an impact on how the Browns evaluate their quarterback battle at all. It's not a distraction. He was at the David Njoku softball game yesterday like nothing happened. I don't think these guys really care that Shador Sanders was speeding. I don't think that this is something that Shador is going to need to answer. I don't think that this is something that the organization is going to have to answer. People get speeding tickets every day.
Yeah, let's be honest. Everyone up here has sped once or twice in their lifetimes. Probably every single time you get on the road, you're going over the speed limit or somewhere around there. So let's just be honest with that. Those who are holding him to this standard that he's just absolutely the worst human because he just sped, you know, like let's dial it back a little. But to be fair, you're not doing yourselves any favors if you're him. You got to understand if you are Shador right now, which I'm sure he knows. Someone's in his ear telling him, you got caught twice. Now look at you. You're in the media. You're giving them something.
Right.
Chill out. You got to be radio silent. Just focus on ball, man. I'm cheering for you. A lot of people are cheering for you. But don't give the people who aren't a reason to have something to hold over you when it doesn't even have anything to do about football. Let your play do the talking. I don't want to hear anything about off-the-field stuff with you unless you're at a donation thing or you're at a school being a good guy.
That's kind of where my head's at, too. Like, inherently, is him speeding a big deal at all? No. I mean, everyone does it all the time. But, like, when they take a flyer on you in the 5th round, they draft a quarterback ahead of you, and you're coming in trying to compete, like, there's got to be a certain element of, like, hey, just stay out of the news. Okay, like, just don't mess anything up. Like, don't become an issue. Because if you do take away from his name and what he is the 5th-round quarterback who they drafted, who in most situations would probably honestly be the odd man out looking in on the roster. But, I mean, because of who he is, he won't be in that position. Kevin Stefanski probably is thinking, hey, just don't go 100 miles an hour. I think there is a little bit of that there.
No
to be
bones
honest.
about it. I mean, he's the 4th quarterback on the depth chart right now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really make that up. He was the one quarterback that didn't have any known first-team reps during the mandatory OTAs, during the mandatory mini camp, all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think when you get in between those white lines come training camp, this is a factor in any of that at all. And I know they maybe have some concerns the organization might, for whatever reason, about Shedeur, how he carries himself, the celebrity of it all. I really think that's something to be embraced. Maybe that's a conversation for a different time. But I really don't think this has much to do with winning football games on Sundays later this fall at all. I don't think this has anything to do with the Browns and their install and the things that just happened, and that's why Shedeur was in town this week. And, you know, some of the things that they'll get into in training camp, like the speeding ticket really is much ado about nothing. The fact that it's 2 speeding tickets, okay, the guy likes to drive a little bit fast, and I do think now that it's been in the news a little bit, and now that he's been here for about a month, we're going to see him dial it back.
Hey, I mean, let on the foot, rock it in the arm, right? I mean, that's always the way he's rolled.
Just don't do it again, right? It's really that simple. Don't do it again. You know you're Shedeur Sanders. You're a polarizing figure. You've been a polarizing figure for about 8 years now, dating back to college.
Probably
right?
20-something years.
Kid. Everything you're going to do is going to be under a microscope, whether that's good or bad.
Let me ask you guys this, though. So what is the – and I understand there's different scenarios, like the J.J. Hickson going 61 and a 25 might be worse than going 101 right here. What is, like, the speed where it's like you just got to cut the guy? What would that be?
I mean, listen, if he gets
think
ticketed going over
144.
if he gets ticketed going over 100 miles an hour again, I'm not saying that's spot on. You cut him, but there has
if he
to
gets
be
a third over 100,
discussion.
there's going to be a discussion.
That has to
there
be
will be a discussion.
I don't
whether or
think
not
there
you
could
view
be.
speeding as a bad thing. Hey, it is illegal.
Or they just hide his
if you
car
get
keys.
caught doing the same thing that you know is illegal 3 times, we're
After
going to have
this media
we're going
circus
to be
that just
having
happened,
a discussion about if your head is right.
I will say, though, like, and there's the people coming out already, like, is he going to be a problem child? Like, is this just Johnny 2.0? I did take the time to watch the whole entire dash cam footage. He seems super nice. With, like, he wasn't, like, treating the officer bad or anything. Like, he just seemed like a really nice guy. Like, I mean, I think he's going to be more than fine.
Listen, it's the NFL, and in any major sport, this will be the case. If you're talented enough, they'll easily forget about your speed.
Yeah.
I do want to say something to Nick's point, though. While this shouldn't have anything to do with you're on the field whatsoever, now you're putting yourself in a situation, though. Say you and Dylan Gabriel, he's really good, you're really good. Y'all are neck and neck. You're only – if it's just a paper thing, but he's not speeding and you are, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
And he's already at a disadvantage being the 5th-round pick. He's going to have to come on the field after Dylan Gabriel almost any way you shape it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. If it's like if you're looking at a job candidate, well, they have the same resume, same age, whatever. I know you shouldn't consider all that stuff, ageism, guys. If one speaks Spanish, you're going to hire the one that speaks Spanish. That's just how it goes. Because what? Because you don't speak Spanish, but they end up speaking Spanish. That's the only thing they have going for them. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, but again, if this happens again, I mean, you need to have a discussion. I don't care how talented you are. If you get caught speeding 3 times in, a span of a month now, something
tells
just in your head isn't right.
Something tells me this will be a footnote on the 2025-2026 Cleveland Browns season. I love everybody pulled out the receipts of LeBron James, you know, the speeding ticket that happened in 2008 when he was going 101 miles an hour. And, you know, Shedeur was live on Twitch yesterday at the Njoku softball game, and he said on there, he was like, you know, I learned from it. I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't always make the right, you know, moves, and I'm going to learn from that. When LeBron had his speeding tickets, I implore people, look up LeBron 101 mile an hour speeding ticket on Google and look up his quote. His quote was, sometimes you just have to go that fast. I don't know if I'll do it again. And if social media was around then, they would have taken that quote and absolutely run with it. So I think he handled it really well. It's one of those things that because his name is Shedeur Sanders, we're still here sitting talking about it on a Friday. Whereas if it was anybody else, it was probably, you know, one segment on the show, you flush it and you move on. So I really don't think I don't think this is a big deal at all.
I think the one thing, though, if you're Shedeur, and I know he's new to the area, so he can't just assume and know this, but people drag race on 480 and 90. Just get off 71. Just find a way around 71. That's where all the cops sit. Like, you just go different highways.
Or don't speed.
Don't speed. I
saw Daryl Ryder put it out there. There needs to be a manual when these kids get drafted or when free agents come to town or guys get traded for what areas you can and cannot drive on and what areas to avoid in the warehouse district and the flats. And that would be a great, like little like a little
Yes.
addendum to the playbook.
You have to think they do that
It's like
in the NFL,
It's
right?
like a little like what's it
That
called?
should be a vet's job.
No,
What's it called
I bet
before
they
the
do that.
book?
I bet the teams do it.
Before the book, like a preamble to the playbook.
preamble, preamble, yeah.
where you've got the
That should be in
highways
the rookie
laid out.
minicamp deal. They just hand them a little packet.
Yeah, it's a preamble to the playbook. Before you jump in the playbook, here's what you got to know about the city of Cleveland: do's and don'ts.
Where do you not go on Friday nights unless it's raining?
Who should write that book?
I could help him out.
There's a couple. Johnny Pigskin. could be
Johnny could help out here.
Forward by Johnny Manziel.
Boy, that
Spell
sun is
FWD.
coming out here at Firestone at the Call It Companies Championship here in Akron. CallGolf.com. Again, we implore you to get your tickets. There's still plenty of fun that you guys can cash in on. Bring the kids under 18 free, a perfect way.
Kids eat free.
Perfect excuse to get out of work early. Come join us here at Firestone and watch the seniors play some golf. All right, we got to take another break. When we get back, we'll flip over to the Diamond. We'll talk some Guardians. They take 2 or 3 from the Giants. Up next, the Sacramento Athletics. Is that what they're getting called now?
I think we should call them the A's. I think we should call them
Well,
the A's.
they're up next for the Cleveland Guardians. We'll talk about that and more. Somebody, I guess, tried to punch a fan, a pitcher. for the
Dennis
Pirates?
Santana.
Jack told me about that this morning. We'll talk about that when we get
Nuts.
back on The Big Factor.
Sorry.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. Shout out Project Pat, our producer, as always. We're here at Call It Companies Championship in Akron at the Firestone Country Club. We're located right here on stage in the Infinity
It's
Zone,
hot.
right in
We're
front of
baking.
the Rock and Roll
Dude,
Hall
yeah.
of Fame
I'm gonna
stage
be
where it's
ready.
been rocking all weekend
I'm
so far.
sweating.
Yeah.
The fun continues today. It's only day 2 of the senior leg here at Firestone. You can go get your tickets today.
CallItGolf.com.
Get out of work. It's absolutely beautiful out. CallItGolf.com. There's so much to do, even if you're not a golf fan. There's food trucks. There's golf simulators. I'm better at those than I am in real life. There's music. There's entertainment. There's so much to do. A cigar lounge. People have been smoking those stoogies all day yesterday. I can still smell them. Gave me a headache. But if that's your thing, come down to Call It Golf Championship here at Firestone. It'll be a blast.
Yeah, act like we didn't have one Wednesday night.
I sure as hell did. Felt like I did. I think I secondhand smoked a whole cigar. All right, guys, I can tell you about garage beer, though. You can't tell me you wouldn't want a garage beer right now. Come in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want it to taste, and that's beer-flavored beer. You can find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com. That's drinkgaragebeer.com. Guys, I'm sweating profusely up here. It's a hot one. I'm glad the sun's out, though, because yesterday it was a monsoon. It felt like we were in a hurricane.
Yeah, we've been rained. Yeah. So, and this weekend it looks really nice. So get your tickets. Come on down here. We're having a ton of fun. You know, even with the rain, I feel like we scrambled down to the cigar lounge over there and got set up indoors.
You
So
can
You
already
also, but how
tell.
cool the trophy is, too.
Yeah,
it's a ridiculous trophy.
And you can already tell today's going to be packed by the amount of people that
Yeah,
are here already
yeah.
yesterday compared to Thursday, because it's a Friday. The weather's so much more nice.
people getting ready for this concert.
So we're going to crown the Larry O'Brien Trophy and the Call It Companies Championship Sunday.
Trophy.
Wow.
Jay, you got the leaderboard pulled up a little?
Oh,
live
yeah,
check
let's see
there
if
for
anything's
us?
happened here.
We're actually getting.
I mean, I feel like most of the guys who are up top haven't really gone yet. They tend to start later in the day, I think. Today, who's out to a hot start? Oh, Allen.
Okay.
We got Allen going here. Yeah. Oh, Angel Cabrera, who is one of the bigger people who's here, started out even as well through a hole. So
all right, let's
that's the big
talk
one.
some baseball, guys. The Cleveland Guardians, one game above 500. We're getting to that half-point mark because the All-Star game is really right around the corner. MLB trade deadline is July 31st. Take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. We got the Sacramento, I suppose I'll call them Athletics, coming up here for a series against our Cleveland Guardians. Yesterday, you lose. Gavin Williams, though, the big rig. I know some of you don't like that name. Had a good outing.
Yeah.
Really good
It was
outing.
Matt Festa who kind of blew it, but I see a lot of people on Twitter complaining about throwing the same guy out 3 times. There's been a lot of questioning of Stephen Vogt on the Twitter timeline.
I'm
It's
not
just-
doing it, man. I'm not calling out Stephen Vogt for this. Again, like it is not Stephen Vogt's fault. You lose a game where you score 1 run. What's Stephen Vogt supposed to do? What's he supposed to do? Hack the scoreboard and give the Guardians more runs is the only thing that I can ask more out of Stephen Vogt. This offense is a stink fest, and until they figure out the bats, Stephen Vogt could pitch the same guys 10 days in a row, and it won't matter because unless you're scoring runs, you're not going to win Major League Baseball games.
I don't disagree with you, Nick, because you're right. There's nothing you can do about the offense just being absolutely putrid. But one thing that is important about being a manager in Cleveland, Ohio, for really any time past the 1990s is you need to be able to win ball games by scoring 1 or 2 runs and find a way to move your bullpen around right where you can be set up to use them on the right days. And Matt Festa, who is literally just Nick Sandlin, like the exact same number, the exact same amount of meatballs, like that guy should never be out there, especially when Franco Ailman is pitching perfectly well down in Columbus right now. And he is a guy who can walk in and be late inning, like leverage. He's not going to be Cade Smith from day one, but he's going to be a star. Like I don't.
What's with this, Jack? Are we trying to win the AAA World Series championship?
I think we're trying to win
all
both.
these
kids
guys
at?
in Columbus.
Where are they at?
It's just Chase DeLauder,
sick of
CJ
it, bro.
Kafis, Andrew Walters. We were pounding the
Yeah.
table for prior to his injury.
They-
Where are these kids, man?
This
Play
team
'em,
just
bro.
reminds me, I've been saying the 2022 team a lot recently, but I think it's the 2013 team, which was actually Tito's first year. This team really
Yeah.
reminds me of. They went 92-70. They were a team no one thought anything of coming into the year, so they actually kind of overplayed a little bit, got into the playoffs, lost in the wild card, but they had no consistent starting pitching, a bunch of older guys thrown together, like Scott Kazmir was like the Ben Lively kind of, and a bunch of younger guys who were one day going to be good with a couple of stars. So, I mean, hopefully it works out. Like that was like the start of Lonnie, Kipnis, those guys, so I don't know, man, but...
Chris Antonetti said, fuck them kids, right?
Yeah, no, they're all sitting down there. I mean, Chase DeLauder is locked in a room right now in a hotel, and
All
he
right, let's
cannot get out.
Let's talk CJ Kafis. Let's
Let him out.
let's talk Chase DeLauder, and then we'll talk some Travis Bazzani.
Is there a prize for not calling them up?
So that is the thing. So
service time
it's service
manipulation,
time, but here's
Rob.
the issue, Rob. When you trade the guys 3 years before their contract ends because you're not going to pay them,
doesn't
why'd
matter.
you wait for service time anyways?
Doesn't matter.
But even past that, the Super 2 deadline has passed this year already, which means that these guys are eligible. It wouldn't take a year off of his contract. Like, these guys could have been up a month ago when it comes down to that, but I think there is waiting to get home. And I really think it'd be Jonathan Colgate Rodriguez who goes down. You call up DeLauder. You have Nolan and Lane, platoon and center until that's like the Joker breaking the stick. Have at it, guys. One of you's got to win the job. If not, you upgrade the deadline. Right field, you go CDL and Angie together. And that just makes sense.
That was an elite movie reference, by the way. Shout out to Dark
Thank you.
Knight. All right, let's
Why
talk
so
Travis
serious?
Bazzana. Obviously, a little bit sidetracked this season, an oblique injury. Was batting okay in Akron. Hasn't even been up to Columbus yet. Obviously, people are anticipating his Major League debut. But let's talk about Jack Caglione when we're talking about MLB rookies. Obviously, drafted after Travis Bazzana to the Kansas City Royals. He made his debut
At
a
6.
couple weeks ago. We saw him go 2 jacks yesterday. He's looking real good. He's given pop to a much-needed Kansas City lineup. Jack, it's very early. This is all assumptions to how these guys' Major League careers are going to go. We won't know the answer to this for a while. But do you feel as though Jack Caglione should have been the #1 pick?
I'm not even going to say him necessarily, but it's just so tough because we're stuck in this point where we're a game over 500. Everyone else is getting their shiny bells and whistles, you know? Like, not just Caglione, but Nick Kurtz for the Oakland, now Sacramento A's is up, and he hit a piss missile last night to dead center field. That gets me really good. I mean, I know we have some first base depth already, but it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, everyone else is seeing their guys. I know we had an injury that kind of prevented when we would see Bazzana in the first place, but it kind of hurts, doesn't it, to see these guys doing what they're doing? And we talked about, is there ever going to be another Ohtani on the show a couple days ago, right, when he started to come back and pitch again? Maybe it'll be Jack in a couple years. I don't know, man. It's just aren't your heads just a little bit sad about the Guardians in a way?
Vibes are down.
Vibes are down.
There's no debating that. And you know, it looked like this was the opportunity to pick the vibes back up because you win
took
2 or 3
They took
against
2 or
the
3 there. I
Giants.
mean, you got
surely would have
something,
been
you know?
nice to sweep them
Right.
though. And then this weekend, I mean, you're looking at a ball club that's right now, 1 game over 500. You've got the trade deadline about 1 month away. you got to make some hay in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Otherwise, we've seen this organization before just sell parts at the deadline and kind of wave the white flag saying, hey, it's not about this year. We're going to stockpile the Manzardos of the world, and get ready for next season. And I don't think that's what our Guards fans want right now. I think we were looking forward to having a really fun, competitive summer. I think when you came into this season, you were looking at the Guards, the Tigers, kind of battling it all the way out until the fall. That dream's probably dead. I'd love to try to cling on to one of these wild card spots. It's way too soon to try to predict that stuff, but man, I want to see this team turn things around in the next 2 or 3 weeks here, because I know they'll sell some pieces at the deadline, and then you'll have the people that are really angry with the pitchforks.
And this is the thing, too, is you can't just declare any series in the middle of the year the Super Bowl of the regular season, right? You can't.
Right.
But if you're at this point right now where you're one game over 500, you came out, you actually got a couple of wins on the West Coast against San Fran earlier this week.
Good team, by the way.
Yeah, they are. And I understand the A's can hit home runs, and they got some fun guys. If you don't put belt to ass on the Sacramento, Oakland, undisclosed location athletics, at least 2 of the 3 games, then just do it on Monday.
In a double-A stadium, Jack.
Right?
In a double-A stadium.
Just trade everyone Monday if you can't do that.
We got to score some runs in Oakland. And Jensen Lewis, talked about that during his Bringing the Heat rant that kind of took the internet by storm earlier this week on Monday. Like, this is the time where you've got to turn some things around. Like, they're playing in a minor league stadium. That's an advantage for them because they've been batting in that stadium all year long. But you should have that same luxury. It's the same dimensions for both the home team and the away team. It's a double-A stadium. You have to score some runs this week.
I also have a Guards trade that needs to happen that I just decided on. Not out on Bo Naylor, guys, as you know about me. I know you guys are a little bit more sour on Noah Naylor than I am. Guys, Hunter Goodman is rocking the ball for the Rockies right now. Their team is terrible. They have no use for Hunter Goodman. They're not going to be good for the next 10, 15, 25 years probably. Wouldn't cost much. He's a catcher who's really never done anything in his career outside of a little bit last year, a little bit this year. Had a great year so far, arguably one of the best catchers in the NL so far this year. I'd go out and give up a prospect or 2 for him. Maybe just platoon them for a year and see what happens. Just take something off Bo, because how much better would we all view Bo Naylor if we had a backup catcher who could just hit his weight? Maybe it would give you 6 to 7 home runs as a backup catcher, can hit lefties a little bit. Hunter Goodman would command more at bats than Austin Hedges does, obviously. But I think that was the first real quick solution I've seen a catcher thrown out at all. Because you're not going to go get Cal Raleigh, but that's a name who's very attainable, makes a lot of sense, and really is just like David Fry.
It's not even that I'm that down on Bo Naylor. I think what's disappointing to me about Bo Naylor is the fact that catchers don't hit for average. It is what it is. You're going to have catchers that hit in the low 200s. That's just Major League Baseball in the Big 2025. It's the fact that the power has seemingly eluded him, and the at-bats are just mind-boggling. The strikeouts are disgusting. When this is a completely different ball player than we had, during his time with Akron Rubber Ducks. Then he was raking in Columbus, and the power has seemingly just escaped Bo Naylor, and that's my biggest frustration with him.
I feel bad for him, kind of, because when you run out a catching duo, triumvirate, whatever it was, of Roberto Perez, Austin Hedges, and Kevin Plawecki, yeah, your fans are going to clamor to see their top catching prospect. Yep. And it's really fun to – and the one thing people need to understand, though, because this even comes into what's going on right now, not just DeLauder and Kafis, but all these guys in Columbus, AAA pitching is not Major League pitching. We can watch all these videos of Bo Naylor hitting him 500 feet in Columbus, and it was awesome and cool. You can't expect him to come up and do that right away. I know DeLauder's a little bit older. Maybe he'll be more ready to come up and give some help right away, but – I don't know. Bo kind of got screwed over in a way because people thought he was going to be the next Sandy Alomar, and he was never supposed to be more than just a pretty good catcher.
Right.
Well, season is very long in the MLB, as we all know. Still a while till the trade deadline, and obviously still a while till the playoff picture is really solidified. Hopefully, at least that is for the AL Central, even though the Tigers seem to be running away with it. All right, let's take another break. When we get back, I want to flip back to the NFL. I want to ask you guys a couple questions. A little bit of previewing next season, our thoughts on some teams around the league. We'll do that when we get back on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Nick Padone, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson. Shout out again to Project Pat, our producer. We're here at Firestone in Akron. The College Companies Championship is going on. It's day 2 of the senior leg here at Firestone. The weather is beautiful. There's still plenty of fun that you guys can be a part of. Go to collegegolf.com and get your tickets. Kids under 18, they get in for free. There's so much to do. Golf simulators, food trucks, cigar lounges. They have everything, so much entertainment. Right behind us, you see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage located here in the Infinity Zone where our stage is right now. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Today's going to be even more fun because the weather's going to be nice. There's going to be more people here, more music, more entertainment. Perfect excuse to get out of work a little bit early and enjoy the weather, guys.
Yeah, this has been a ton of fun. We've had a lot of fun yesterday. Honestly, even like going all the way back to last year, and just the fact that we've been able to be a part of this tournament now for the last couple of years and see it just get bigger and better, and just grow the footprint of this entire country club, where they really take it over for a weekend, celebrate the game of golf, celebrate philanthropy in the Northeast Ohio area. Like, everybody's just out here having a great time. Everybody's in a good mood. Even some of my biggest ops in the world are like parking cops. You got a good event.
Yeah.
You got a good event when the parking cops are in a good mood.
Even this morning, so I had a bit of issues getting in here yesterday. I had to sweet talk a little bit with the guy. I had everyone was behind me in their cars. You had to move on through. Today just got the wave on through. That felt good. The hey, remember that frame? Just go on in, buddy.
I just hit him one of those.
Yeah.
He said you're good.
There you go. All right, well, we're going to be wrapping up here at Firestone, as I mentioned, the Big Patch. I want to talk a little bit of football before we wrap things up, guys. I want to get your thoughts on just around the league. I know we're still a little bit a ways from training camp, and then even then it's still a long lull until we get to week 1 of the NFL season. But
Brian, I hear you got an MVP proclamation for the program.
Oh.
So I want to state before I do this, this is around the time of the year, like before training camp, I like to get in my picks, and then I don't really solidify them until – because a lot can happen until.
But you got spitball, get your
But
candidates,
Josh Allen to win MVP. The year before that, I said Jalen Hurts was going to win MVP, and he would have if he really. I really do believe that if he didn't get hurt, and I believe it was Week 15 and missed the last couple games of the season. MVP candidates, if we want to start there. I don't necessarily have my locked-in pick for MVP this year. A very popular one is going to be Jaden Daniels because of the rushing upside, and obviously we've seen Lamar capture a couple MVPs due to that. If he'd probably be my pick today, if you can supplant, is that the right word? The defending Super Bowl champions win that division, go win 12 games again. You put up these gaudy numbers. It'd be hard, I feel like, and he's such an entertaining player to watch. But my dark horse candidate, which I wanted to talk about today, I promise this has nothing to do with this player formerly being in Cleveland. I have no ties anymore. My dark horse candidate, listen, is Baker Mayfield. Now, that is going to be hinging on a lot. The rushing upside is very limited with Baker Mayfield.
What is there?
The recent MVPs, we've seen Josh Allen can run the ball. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is an okay scrambler. Aaron Rodgers would be the one example.
Passing volume.
But here's the thing. It's the passing volume. I truly do believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the best receiving core in the entire NFL as a whole. You could talk about T. Higgins, Jamar Chase being a 1-2. You could talk about Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison being the 1-2. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, hopefully will come back healthy. Before he got hurt, by the way, he was leading the league in touchdowns. Looked like another just phenomenal wide receiver again, and he got a contract extension. Clearly, they still believe he's there. Jalen McMillan, who broke out in his sophomore year. You have Emeka Buko, first-round draft capital. You have Tez Johnson, a field stretcher, super fast. The key is there. You have an offensive line held down by Tristan Wirfs. It's great. Bucky Irving, if he can take a step up, you have a balanced attack. Like Baker Mayfield, I believe 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. If he goes up to 4,800 yards, throws for 46 touchdowns, gets the picks, it's 10 picks, single-digit picks. And I know it's a lot to ask for, but again, that division is so winnable.
It's improved too, and it's an improved division. So it's not like anymore he could just say, "Hey, we're beating up on this NFC, this bad division." Where, like the Panthers are a better team.
And team success is such a big part of it. And that's such an easily winnable division. They've won it, I believe, the last 3 years. If they can win that division again, they win 12 games. Baker Mayfield looks like a top 5 thrower, which he almost damn near did last year. I think the stats and the surrounding cast around him with a balanced rush attack and that offensive line, like it would need an Aaron Rodgers type where you don't have somebody like a Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels just doing stuff we're not used to quarterbacks doing. Because obviously that's not in Baker's bag. But I really believe if they win that division, he can throw for, again, 46 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, which is a shit ton. But we've seen NFL quarterbacks do that. And listen, I know like he can still get better as his career goes on. Like I still believe Baker, the best football is actually ahead of him.
Why'd you have to ruin my Friday?
I could really see Baker Mayfield if you have a down-ish year for quarterbacks. Perhaps, like
the city will burn.
In the past, I could see Baker Mayfield winning.
Could you imagine Tony Grossi having to write an article about Baker Mayfield winning the MVP?
It won't be a sexy pick either, but I could really see it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to hear a dispute here. I was a Baker fan when he was here, didn't want to see him leave, thought he deserved one more season with our Browns, on that 5th year. And then obviously he's had a great time resurrecting his career from that one game with the Los Angeles Rams. And then look at what he's become with the Buccaneers. I don't hate it at all. Another dark horse that I would throw in there, and it would be dependent on a lot of things breaking right, and I'm not sure that it's going to happen because it's the opposite. It's a difficult division, and it's right here in our AFC North is Joe Burrow.
That's where I was going to go.
If not now, then when? And you've got Chase, you've got Higgins. These guys have been taken care of now. You've got a new, improved backfield that's going to be a lot more exciting. The offensive line was a little bit better last year. The one piece of Burrow that you just hit on, there's virtually no rushing upside, and the defense might be that bad where they might lose some of those games. But, if he has to go out there and just put up 40 or 50 points a night because the defense is going to be that bad,
and they will be that
it's
bad.
only going to inflate the numbers of Joey B and help the Bengals be a good team if he could go out there and sling it.
Because you can't even categorize them as like garbage yards either, because they're going to be in those games. Their offense is good enough to keep them in that stuff.
I mean, a lot of people thought that he should have won it last year if they made the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
The case, he had the numbers.
We talked about this team. I'm not going to jump and say this quarterback is going to win the MVP. That would be a really, really dark horse, though, where I'm going with this, though. But they finally put some pieces on the O-line to support this generational guy. They bring in who I think is a stud, who me and you both wanted in Luther Burden.
Yeah, our boy.
And you got the coach that was just making Jared Goff a MVP-level QB. I'm excited to watch the Chicago Bears. Now, that's a really tough division. That's just a gauntlet every year. But I'm expecting them to really take a huge step forward this year. That's the team I'm staking my claim right now as the surprise team in the NFL this season.
I've thought about the Bears making the playoffs, and I think they very well could. Now, obviously, that's hinging on Caleb Williams because we're yet to really see that generational label translate. But again, when you're the most sacked quarterback in the league, I think it was 69 times. By the way, I think that's most in NFL history.
It was like top
It's hard
3.
to do anything when you're on your ass
see.
every other play. You mentioned the offensive line. You got Joe Tooney. You got Jonah Jackson, Drew Daltman. Like, that offensive line is revamped. You bring in Ben Johnson. You have DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Rome Odunze in his second year.
Rome.
Like,
It's got to work.
The cast will be there.
Their
And you
tight ends are
draft-
sick,
by the way,
too.
you
They're
drafted
insane
Colson.
tight ends.
You drafted Colson Loveland. You
Yeah,
have Cole Kmet. DeAndre Swift is your running back. That's the one kind of, I guess, hole in the
I'm
road.
Caleb's trying
surprised
with
they
MVP,
didn't
that's
get
good.
Chubb. I'm surprised they didn't get Chubb.
Yeah.
That's where I
was
thought
too.
it was going.
Me
but
too.
I like
I already have my Super Bowl futures placed for
Wow.
this year. Yeah,
Wow.
locked it in early. Josh Allen, you're getting it done.
We shall see.
I love Josh
I don't
Allen.
think
The
James
NFC
Cook's
looks
gonna
so
be
good
on
in
that
shorts.
team.
I feel like the AFC is a little more set, but I got a lot of teams I'm looking at. ATL, Carolina, I think is going to take.
What
a
about
step.
Atlanta? Excites you? I'm curious.
Penix.
Okay.
London. Just the team was so mid last year with Cousins, and now you're the
Drake
QB.
London might be the most
He's
under.
a
I'm just not a
monster.
Penix guy. I don't know if it's because he's a lefty.
I think he's a beautiful thrower. Of the
Yeah, they
football, and I
wasted
think-
so
I hate
much
lefties, though, dude.
They wasted so much time last year with Kirk Cousins. They really did.
But we can't even say. But
And we're gonna do it this year
Like
with
we got a Saquon
someone.
Barkley level running back there. I think that team, if Penix is just anything solid or just an upgrade from Kirk Cousins, is a possible playoff football team.
And you got 2 first-rounders on defense
And a
as
great
well for the
defense,
Atlanta
yeah.
Falcons.
Yeah.
We shall see, guys. I mean,
And
there's still
Xavier
so
Rhodes.
much time. I'm not going to bring my Super Bowl prediction yet. That's outrageous. I need to see how training camp unfolds
Yeah.
and all that.
I think I
but-
placed it before June.
But I don't know. We'll see. But this has been such a fun episode of The Big Factor. Again, we're here at the Call It Companies Championship in Akron at Firestone Country Club. It's been an absolute blast. The weather is beautiful today. You see they got everything here. Food trucks, cigar lounges, golf simulators. We're right in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage where it was rocking all night long last night. There's still plenty of time, plenty of fun. Get your tickets, calligolf.com. Kids under 18 get in free. The perfect excuse to skip work early and head on down and enjoy the weather and watch some pros golf, guys. I'm excited to see how today unfolds. We'll crown a champion here again. This is no chump change, guys. Winner gets $500,000. Last year was Ernie Els. We'll see who it is this year. But I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Nick Padone, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson. Shout out Project Pat, our producer. Everybody, we'll be back 1 o'clock, the Big Play Cleveland show. Nick, Chris, and Gavin Cruz. Until then, we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll be back Monday. Same people, same time.